All right, we're back, and today is Halloween edition. This year, Halloween's gonna look a little different. There's no parties, obviously, and I'm not even sure if there's trick-or-treating. I mean, I don't have children, so I don't really know the status of the trick-or-treating situation, but not sure how that goes this year. So I thought that it would be fun to do a little Halloween look. You might be able to guess already who I'm going for. I thought that this one would be pretty easy to do, not having to go out and getting a lot of things for it. I really like Halloween. I love dressing up, so Halloween is always a fun time. All-time favorite that I've done is Daryl from The Walking Dead. I am going to do a Wednesday Addams look for you today. If you have a white button-up shirt and a black shirt, most things will be on Zoom if they happen at all. So it doesn't even have to be a dress. It just has to be literally a shirt because you're only seeing from here up anyway. So I obviously straightened my hair already and put them in pigtails. If you don't have long, dark hair, you might need a wig. Painted my nails black. So we're going for it here. I thought that this one is a pretty easy one to do because you can do a lot of it with regular makeup. I do have, this is sort of my, it's so gross, Halloween kit. I am going to be using some makeup from that and some from my everyday makeup that I use. But yeah, this one's fun. It's a pretty simple one to do. It's a pretty classic one to do. So I thought that this would be an easy Halloween look for everybody. So with that said, let's jump in. I have done this look just to like test it out. I did it yesterday. I did it to do like a quick put together video for Instagram, but I thought let's just like make a full video out of it. Okay, so first things first, for Halloween, I just have like this like, you know, honestly crappy kind of makeup that I bought. I don't even know when, probably years ago. So I've got these like cheap Halloween paints that you can get. They are so awful for your skin, but I am going to use those. Unfortunately, I don't have like fancy Halloween makeup. Literally, I probably got this from the dollar store is my guess. Because it's not very nice on your skin, I find it really dries my skin out and kind of looks like cakey and gross. I'm going to try to avoid that. I feel like with dollar store Halloween makeup, you're not really getting the best like application, but I'm trying to avoid it drying my skin out and making me break out tomorrow. So I put some moisturizer on already. I am going to spray on the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer. So I am going to prime my skin. I tested these out this morning to see like which one was better, and they're both kind of crap. So I'm just going to pick this one and use this one for sake of argument. What I'm going to do is just put a little bit on my face and take a sponge and try to really like press it into the skin. So we're just going to put a little bit on like this, and then your sponge. I'm going to put it all over my face, but I am going to leave where I can see my actual bags. I'm going to leave that and not put any white on there. And the hardest part about this, honestly, is just getting it so it's not completely uneven, because it's just, again, it's just not great makeup. You know, just try to blend it in as best you can, which is why I'm patting it as opposed to like scraping it. This stuff is awful. You can see if I left it like this, it would look a little silly. So you gotta remember your ears and your neck as well. Okay, I think that's good enough. So this is gonna seem a little counterproductive, but I am going to take my Juvia's Place concealer, which is too light for my skin tone. So you wanna go with a really, really light color. I'm gonna just try to like even it out a bit. Like I said, this paint is just not great. And so I'm gonna try to even it out so it looks a little less cakey and a little more even, hopefully. It will add a little bit of color back into my face, but that's okay. I'm not mad about that. Oh, my poor skin. The problem with this makeup is that it's like patchy. It's just like not good. Which like, I know, it's from the dollar store. So, I mean, I tried to use moisturizer and primer today just to moisturize my skin and see if this went on a little bit better. It still didn't really. So then in my trusty Halloween kit, I have L'Oreal Paris True Match Super Blend Powder, which I've not used forever. It's very, very, very light. And so I'm going to use that on top, which again, I don't mind. It has a little bit of color because we just want to look really pale. We don't necessarily want to look completely like a ghost. So you have to be really careful with this because if you drag it at all, it will definitely pull this makeup off. It's not good quality makeup, so that's why I'm sort of just like brushing it in. There. Got a pretty good base. I would say if you're like going somewhere and you want it to like really look good, to invest in not just like dollar store Halloween paint, but over Zoom, like I feel like you get the effect that you're more pale than you normally would be. So I think it's fine. Yeah, and certainly if you had like a translucent powder, you could put that on as well. You're really just trying to like set the makeup. Okay, so now I do want to give myself a little bit of a cheek in here. I'm going to use this gray color that I have. So any like gray eyeshadow that you have will do fine. I'm gonna take a little brush and that gray color, and I'm gonna be very gentle, and I'm gonna go in here, and hopefully it's not gonna pull off all the makeup. It's very dark right now. And then we're gonna try to buff it out a little. So I put a little bit too much. I'm happy with this side for the most part, but I put too much on this side. So I'm just gonna take that powder again and just go over top of it, and it'll lighten it. I would say if you don't have a gray eyeshadow and you just have like actually like Halloween makeup, I think that's okay. Just be very careful while you're putting it on. You don't want like a ton. I mean, it's Halloween makeup. It's like, you're not going for glamour, so it can look a little whatever. I feel like a powder you're able to blend in a little bit better, but again, you're putting it on top of crap makeup, so it's like, it is what it is. So now I am going to put some eyelid primer on. I'm going to put it all over my eye and a little bit under my eye as well. Okay, and the reason that I put eyelid primer on and I didn't put the white all the way around my eye is, again, it's just not good makeup, and I want to have a base that I'm going to be able to add the eyeshadow to and blend it really well, and this makeup, this face makeup that makes it white, really isn't going to do that. So now I am going to be using two palettes today. I'm going to be using my 35C Everyday Chic Morphe palette, and I'm going to be using my Too Faced Dream Queen palette, which I use all the time. Thanks, Julie. My friend Julie gave me that. In my Too Faced Dream Queen palette, there is a red color that's like sort of a reddy burgundy called Let's Roll. And I'm going to be using that as well as the color Total Mood in the Morphe palette, sort of like a lighter purple. And I'm going to be mixing those two together. So if you have sort of like a burgundy, a reddy purple, use those. We're going to use that for sort of the circle around our eyes. So you're going to want to get a fluffy brush to start. I'm going to dip it into that Let It Roll color, that's sort of that burgundy color, and on that like purpley red color. What I'm going to do is start on the top of my eye in the crease. So I'm going to go in here. Bringing it pretty far over, pretty high up, like I'm like being pretty generous in the crease there, in the corner. The nice thing about this look, if it was like followed underneath, it doesn't really matter. Then I'm gonna go in with a clean fluffy brush and just go over this and like sort of blend it out and up a little bit. Then you can also go in with your colored brush again and just add some more in there and then blend again. Okay, so you can see the difference. This one's blended and this one's not. We're gonna go in and blend this one. And if you find there's too much color, like if you're like, oh, I don't like that, you can always take your big fluffy brush, make sure you get all the powder off, and then just keep blending it. Alright, now what we're going to do is something you normally never do, is you're going to take those same colors and you're going to go underneath your eye. I don't want to go crazy, so I'm just going to put a little bit under here, closer to my lash. And then again, take your big fluffy brush and blend. And with this red color, purple color, you're going to want to bring it right into the corner on both sides. Okay, at this point, obviously it looks insane. You just got to go with it. You just got to like trust the process, you know? I am now going to take a fluffy brush. I'm going to go in with this color right here. It looks almost black. It's not black, it's like dark, dark, dark purple. So I'm gonna go in with that. It's the color, it's a date. And then I'm also gonna go in with the color Enthralled, which is also another really dark color. So I'm gonna play with those two colors. For this, I'm just gonna go right in the crease in the corner again. I'm sort of like building as I go. So I'm just adding a little bit, pressing it in, and then I'll eventually take that big fluffy brush to fluff it out. So corner, crease. So you can see we're sort of creating a shape now. This time I don't want to blend the color up. I want that red above it. So I'm just trying to blend it right in the crease. And then this can go up a little bit. And I personally just love having a brush. I know I've talked about this before, but I just love having a brush that you put the color on and then a brush that you use to blend it out. I mean, I didn't used to do that. It's only been like in the last little bit that I've done that, and it's like a game changer. Now I'm gonna take a really thin brush. I'm gonna go in with the same 2 dark colors, or just one, doesn't really matter, just pick one. And I'm gonna go underneath the eye. I'm gonna add a little bit more above on the corner as well. And of course, fluffy brush. I really feel like the key to this is add a little bit, blend it in. Add a little bit more color, blend it in. If you just go to put a ton on all at once, it's really hard to blend it. You might have too much. This way you can sort of be more in control of how the colors look and how they blend together. Okay, now I'm gonna take that color, that original purple color that we used with the red burgundy, and I'm gonna use that on my finger. So I'm gonna put the majority of that right in the middle. And then also drag it out to the edge as well. I want it to be lighter on the inside, so I don't want a ton, so I'm just gonna take what I have and again blend. Let me take some of that red color too. Let's try that and see. Yeah. Just like gives that red color a little bit more, which I like. Okay, it's coming. Now I'm going to take a little break from the eyes. I'm going to do some brows. So for my brows, actually I'm not going to do too much different. I'm going to still just go in with a eyeshadow. But what I am going to do that I don't normally do is I'm going to drag them out a little bit, make them a little bit longer than they normally are. So I'm still going to go in and like give them the shape. But then I'm going to take some and I'm just going to elongate them slightly. I'm also going to make them a little bit more intense at the front here. So you can see I just elongated them a little bit. I made them a little bit thicker, a little bit darker than I normally would. Just make them a little bit more dramatic. Then I'm going to go in with my Benefit Gimme Brow Plus. So yesterday when I was doing this look, I wasn't sure whether to give her the little widow's peak, and then I thought, it's Halloween. Who cares if it doesn't look perfect? It's Halloween, it's fun, so let's go for it. So I'm literally just using this like Halloween makeup. I'm gonna go in with black. If you have like a black eyeliner that's sort of like a cream, then you could use that. I'm just gonna take an angled brush and this, and I'm gonna draw it on. So you wanna start light in case you screw up. You really wanna try to get it right in the middle of your forehead. And you can go like less extreme too if you want. This is maybe too intense. Whatever, you know? Now that you have the outline, you can sort of draw it in. Take that paint it in. Oh, one thing I should mention, like if you're using like crappy Halloween makeup, make sure to test it on your skin first to see if you break out. Because one year, fun fact, I was trying to make my whole face like white like this, and I did the whole face, and then all of a sudden my skin started burning and I had to take it off. So just make sure to like test it like a little bit on your face before you go to town and put it all over. Okay, so there's that. Now I don't love the way that it still just looks like paint. So I have this fun Tarte Amazonian Clay Volumizing Brow Powder. I'm going to then put that on top and into my hair. It's not quite black, but it's very dark. I just find that this powder makes it look a little bit more real. Okay, I also feel like the peak, even if it's like not perfect, it's like attention to detail. You know, she's got the peak, just do it. Okay, so I've just put some liquid eyeliner on. For that, I just used this H2O proof eyeliner pen from e.l.f. And I'm now going to go in with just a black eyeliner pencil. This one's from NYX. I'm just gonna do in my waterline here. And then I'm gonna go in with some mascara. This is L'Oreal Paris Telescopic Mascara. I also did a video on this, so stay tuned for that, where I review this drugstore mascara. And if there was ever a time to load on mascara, now is the time. and then I don't think that this look would be complete without some sort of lip. So originally I wanted to go in with a black lipstick, but I actually don't own black lipstick, and so I ended up going in with a really, really, really dark purple, and I actually didn't mind it because I have the purple on my eyes. So for this, I'm actually going to take NYX Professional Makeup Epic Wear Liner Stick in the color Berry Goth. So I'm going to go in with the dark, dark purple for my lip liner. It's an eyeliner. I'm going to use it as a lip liner. If you do not own a dark, dark purple eyeliner, don't worry about it. You can always just use your black eyeliner. So I'm actually going to take that anyway and go in, and I'm going to sort of fill it in with some black. And the reason I'm doing this, going in with some black and just like filling it in a little bit, is that I know the lipstick I have isn't dark enough. So I'm just adding this little black to give more of the like black lipstick effect. So then I'm going in with this Maybelline New York Berry Go color. It's a very dark, dark purple color. But you can see it's not quite black. And then I'm going to go back in with that black eyeliner, just darken it a little bit more. And honestly, if you don't have a dark, dark purple, you can also use red. You'll just have to put a lot more black eyeliner on, and you would just like sort of dab on the red a little bit. Really, any sort of darker purple is better. So like if you have even a dark burgundy, if you don't have a purple, that's better. You're wanting to get close to black. I thought I was gonna hate the purple and be mad that I didn't have black. I also didn't want to like spend money on black lipstick that I'm never gonna wear, so I had a purple, so I used that. But yeah, I feel like I shouldn't smile. Anyways, with Wendy Addams. That's not her name. With Wednesday Addams, we're definitely going for more of like a glam Wendy Addams. She certainly didn't wear makeup, so this is sort of a grown-up Wendy Addams. Wendy, why do I keep calling her Wendy? Wednesday. I think I've said it like 5 times. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I will leave everything that I use down below, all the different colors. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope that this got you a little bit in the Halloween spirit, give you something to sort of have a little bit of fun with. And that's it. Happy Halloween. I love that I'm like just talking as if it's like normal, and then I like look over at the monitor and remember that I look like this.